So let's talk about recovery. Okay. A lot of people will often think that progress is really only happening when they're exercising. And exercise, don't get me wrong, it's important. We need to do it. But recovery is where much of the adaptation actually occurs, meaning the changes that our body needs to make as a result of the exercises that we were doing. It takes a recovery process for that to happen. When we exercise, we place stress on our body. Okay. So recovery is when the body repairs, it rebuilds, and it becomes stronger. All right. So even from a personal standpoint, I was doing strength training on my own for a while, but didn't really feel like I was seeing the results that I thought that I should be seeing by the things that I was doing. And so I made the decision that I'm going to get a personal trainer so that I can make sure that I have my correct form and that the type of exercises that I'm doing are the type of exercises to get me to look in the places that I wanted to be tightened up, okay, so to speak. So I did that. And I actually got my husband to do it, and I appreciate him for doing that, which is a fun and interesting process. Maybe I'll record one of our sessions one day, but we'll see. But one of the things that he makes sure that I do when we are exercising is that I have a recovery period. Now, when I was doing it on my own, even though I would watch a video and they would give me a certain amount of time as recovery during the video, sometimes I would fast forward through the recovery and like, okay, let me just go ahead because I need to get done. Or, I just as one, but then other thoughts would be, if I don't do recovery and I'm continuing to push my body, I'm pushing my body harder and maybe my result will be better. Wrong. Okay. So I'm not an expert on exercise. I can tell types, but I'm not a detailed personal trainer. Okay. So I know my limitations, even when I'm working with my own patients on exercising, things like that. So when it gets down to more specific level, higher level, that's where a good personal trainer, a good person who has background in exercise, muscle building, if you're strength training or have some of those toning things, that can give you the right advice about your body and things that you do and you don't do. And recovery is very key to that. So when I would want to go faster and say, okay, let's start the next exercise, he's like, no, you still have 5 seconds left in the recovery. All right. And that's because literally recovery is the time, again, the magic of the effort that you have put in. That's where the process is being allowed to take its course and go out and do what it needs to do inside of your body. Okay. And so even things when we are talking about what things does our body need overall for recovery? Sleep. Okay. So many times we're like, well, I don't need to sleep because I have, again, work to do. And work things are important to do, but sleep is a part of recovery that our body needs to be able to sustain itself. Sleep is what we need to be able to think well and not be so tired and exhausted that it's taking us longer the next day to get things done and make faster and quicker decisions. Hydration. Our body needs water. Okay. Water. Our body needs water as a part of recovery. So much of the internal things of what our body does, we are over 60% made of water. And if we are not replenishing and restoring water because we're losing it through sweat, we lose it when we pee, we lose it if you're menopausal, perimenopausal, and having hot flashes or night sweats, and just the functioning of what our cells are doing on the inside to work so that our organs can function. We need water. All right. Nutrition. We need healthy levels of protein. We need complex carbohydrates and dietary fibers. We need healthy fats. Okay. Not all fats are bad. All right. Put that little plug in there. But that's a part of recovery. So starvation and just saying, I'm not going to eat today so that I can lose weight or things like that. Our body needs nutrition to cover. Our cells function on the nutrients and vitamins that's given to us so that our cells can recover and function the way that they need to. All right. And even having rest days. All right. Times where we're telling people, no, I'm not doing this today. No, I'm not turning on my computer to do work today. Our bodies need rest. It is an important part of the recovery process and a very important part of any fitness plan. Okay, you have to have recovery days. Doing more isn't always better because to a certain point you can overwork your body. And if you don't give it time to rest and recover, your body will shut down. It will start malfunctioning and dysfunctioning. Okay, so if you don't make the plans for it, at some point your body will do it on your behalf. And it may not be at the time that you really wanted to take a break. Okay. So the smartest thing that you can do is to allow your body time to recover. Recovery isn't a weakness. I've heard so many people say, if I sleep 7 to 8 hours, that's for wimps. Okay. It's not. It's actually giving your body what it needs to function and function well, function at a higher level. Okay. Recovery really is a part of the process and our overall health and well-being.